We gotta talk. Hey, I hope everyone's having a great 2020 so far. In case you don't know me, a little bit about me. My name is Aiden Gallagher. I am a high school graduate out of Apex, North Carolina. And I want to talk about it a little bit with y'all. But first, to understand why this decision was so hard for me, I'd like to give you a little bit more backstory into my life. So since I was a little kid, I've always had this big dream of going to Duke University. And in December, I was admitted, and it was kind of like a dream come true for me. Fortunately, 3 months later, the pandemic hit and changed virtually everything about our entire world. And that included what Duke University was going to be like in the fall. In light of all that, it has prompted me to take a gap year from college and defer my enrollment at Duke until the fall of 2021. A decision which was very hard to make and which I did not take lightly. And even though this decision was extremely tough for my family and I to make, I'm very excited about the upcoming year. I'm very excited about all the projects and fun things that I'll get to do and share with everyone who is subscribed to this channel or watches my videos. One of the things that I plan to do in the upcoming year is document what this year will be like for me, just to kind of share all my experiences. And what I'll be doing, and I'll primarily be taking on this new hobby of video recording and editing and uploading to my YouTube channel so other people can see what I'm doing on my gap year, kind of checking on me, that kind of thing. In addition to sharing with everyone else what I'll be doing, I think video editing will also give me the opportunity to learn about myself. For example, one of the things that I'm noticing when I'm looking through this footage, I like to do this a lot in my head. I don't know why, I just like to do it. So I'll try to work on that a little bit. But in today's video, which I'm going to title Gap Year Chronicles Episode 1, maybe, I'll think about that title a little bit. I'm going to be discussing the 3 main reasons of why I took a gap year, just in case anyone's wondering, or if anyone else is on the fence about taking gap year themselves. Hopefully they can hear from me and hear what I'm doing and why I took a gap year, so that they can make a good decision for themselves. Reason number 1. So the first reason I'm taking a gap year is because I believe, and it's been documented, that the experience that will be available for first years or freshmen at Duke this fall will be drastically different from the experience that I was promised when I was applying at Duke and looking into what it had to offer. One of the things Duke has officially come out and said that there will be extreme limitations on or not existent at all are things like intramural sports. They have canceled all intramural and club sports for the fall, which is something that I really like to participate in. All the dining options at Duke will be to go, so you won't be able to sit down and eat with your friends, which, I don't know, I think that's kind of a good social activity to do, is just to eat with your friends, and Duke's not letting you do that. Another thing is the sporting events at Duke, so the football and especially the basketball games that are really popular normally, those are going to be canceled completely. I'm assuming, at least for fans, you might be able to get together with your friends and watch it on TV, but that kind of defeats the purpose. I mean, you could just do that at home. I mean, kind of one of the big purposes of me going to Duke was getting to experience going to a football game or going to a basketball game in person with my friends, and that's not going to be an option this year. So that kind of really takes down reasons to be on campus at least. Almost all of my classes that I was supposed to take were going to be online, which now objectively, online learning might not be the worst thing in the world, but subjectively for me, 2 things. First, I hate it. I absolutely despise online learning in just about any form. It doesn't work for me, so I don't want to spend most of my year doing that and being frustrated when I can't understand something or learn something the correct way because it's being taught to me over the internet rather than face-to-face in person. A lot of the connections that you can get with your classmates and professors through in-person learning won't necessarily be there during online learning. you won't be able to work on in-person projects with people or presentations or anything like that if everything's online, or maybe you still can, but it will be not the same and severely limited as compared to being in person. If college was free, or if I was on a full scholarship, I wouldn't really have as much of a problem going because I wouldn't be paying for this experience, whether it be online or in person, so I wouldn't really care as much. However, like most people and families in the US, college is not free and it's typically pretty expensive. And so when you pay for something, you want to get your full money's worth. And I feel like that's not going to be happening in the fall, at least as it pertains to the classes and experience that will be there for freshmen. Reason number 2. So the second reason that I won't be going to college in the fall kind of has a lot to do with the first reason, is that I just don't trust Duke to, or any college really, to handle this situation well. I mean, if you look at the pandemic currently, it's completely out of control. The virus is widespread. There's no limit on its spread through communities, states, and pretty much the US as a whole. And so what that means is I think that from this point to November, December, January, February, things are only going to get worse in terms of infection rates, in terms of who's getting sick, and deaths too. That's a pretty big factor as well. And so I just don't trust any college to limit the spread on their campus. So essentially what that means, I think, is going to end up happening is a month or 2 months into the semester, all of the colleges in the US are basically just going to send everyone home as soon as they have a small little outbreak on campus, which I think, like I said, is very likely because I don't think colleges will do a good job in, or can feasibly do a good job in limiting the spread of the virus. So I don't want to, pay all that money, spend all that time moving into my dorm, studying for my classes and whatnot, only to be told a month into the semester, hey, you got to pack everything up and go home and do the rest of the semester online, and we're not giving you a refund. So the third reason that I won't be going to college in the fall is because I actually think taking a gap year and taking a break from what I like to call the rat race has a lot of benefits, both physical and mental health wise. I've been getting up at 6 a.m. every single day for school for the past 7 to 8 years. And in addition to that, I've had a very similar routine during that whole time too, where I get up at 6 a.m., go to school for 7 hours, do any extracurricular or sports after school, go home, do my homework, eat, and go to bed, and then wake up the next day and do it all over again. So I think getting a break from that will be a very big plus of the gap year. Obviously, I'm not going to get lazy or anything, but I just think having a break from my physical and mental health to try and just recover instead of throwing myself right into college, whether I'm ready for it or not, I think is a big plus to a gap year. So yeah, those are kind of the 3 main reasons as to why I'm going to be taking a gap year in the fall of 2020, and in addition to that, the spring semester of 2021, and enrolling at Duke University in the fall of 2021. Overall, I'm very excited. I know there will be some challenging aspects of this gap year that I am fully prepared to meet head on. I know that it will be a tough time for everybody, especially, but I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm going to approach it with a positive attitude, and it will be nice because I'll have most of the things that I'll do will be in my control. So I won't be, waiting for permission from some bureaucrat from Duke to tell me whether I can go take a walk outside or something like that. It will all be under my control, and I'm looking to make the most of it. So in conclusion, if you know anyone who's kind of on the fence about taking a gap year, feel free to send them this video so you can kind of get a better idea of what they want to do. Maybe, I don't really know, but it's up to them. That's kind of the great year about gap years, is you have a lot of freedom to decide what you want to do. And yeah, I'm super excited to be sharing what I'll be doing through my channel and through these types of videos. It's going to be new for me, it might not be that great at first, but hopefully as time goes on and I get to have more and more cool experiences throughout my gap year, I'll hopefully get better at, filmmaking and editing too. So I'm excited to share all those. Stay tuned for the next episode. I think I'm going to do kind of a weekly thing every week where I kind of just recap what's going on, and then maybe when I do something special, I'll probably have a video dedicated to that too. But yeah, we're gonna have a fun time, and we'll catch y'all next week.